Hi, this is Buffalo, and you're watching my new review. Click the thumbnail to check out my brand new video where I talk about the newest album from Flume. Hi, this is Buffalo Staple. Brand new video. Hi, this is Buffalo. Welcome to my channel. I just check out. Hi, this is Buffalo. Hi, this is Buffalo. Oh man, yeah, welcome to my channel. I talk about music. Here's the new Flume review for you right here. Please click the thumbnail right here. Hi, brand new review. This is Buffalo. Go check out. Welcome to my channel. It's all about channel. Click the thumbnail. Check out the new video. This is Buffalo. This is Buffalo. Welcome to my new review. It's a review of the new Flume. Flume, aka Harley Stratton, is an Australian wonky future bass producer. This is his third full-length release. We had the really wonky and glitzy self-titled, the EDM and pop-influenced Skin, and now, hi, this is Flume. Now, with Skin, his previous record, he was again making poppier material, but he was sort of embracing, subtly, the kind of experimental side of like wonky and future bass music as well, and sort of like implementing that into this kind of poppier aesthetic, and sort of like delivering poppier audiences sounds that are a bit more alien, which I think is really cool in theory. On paper, that's a great idea, like, you know, making poppier music and just sort of like, you know, taking that pop formula, taking that pop template, and just introducing the weirder side of future bass in with that. I think it's just a match made in heaven, really. But unfortunately, that album did suffer from some pretty weak features, some tracks that just felt completely unnecessary, some just generally pretty messy instrumentals like the song Free. That was a mess. It was a bit bloated too, just generally inconsistent, and just kind of awkwardly balanced, just like one very commercial idea alongside one very abstract and wild idea. It didn't really blend the worlds together as effectively as I think it was trying to, and with this new one, hi, this is Flume, it's a mixtape. It's dubbed a mixtape as opposed to an album. And looking at the way this album's formatted and structured, and just the general, I guess, goal of the music here, I think that does kind of make sense. It's not really shooting to be much of like a journey necessarily, it's more just like a collection of very strange future bass bangers, a lot of which are not even 2 minutes long. And honestly, I love this album in theory. Again, I think what he was going for is fucking ill. But this album feels empty. It feels really hollow. It feels like a series of very quick, cheap thrills that have little to no staying power. But what I do love about this thing is the fact that he is now embracing that weird side of himself that I think he's always just kind of hinted at on previous albums, and he's just like fully just like diving into it, just indulging in the experimental. Like, you look at beats like Wormhole, fucking Amber, Spring, the Sophie remix, the sound play on these cuts is genuinely pretty fucking mind-altering. This whole album is sort of like a big collection of very small Wallfucks. You know the song Wallfuck from Skin? It was like the one really wild, abstract, insane banger from that album, and it was so fucking sick. Yeah, this whole album's like a whole bunch of mini versions of that. So the goal of this tape is generally just to present to you just like one wild, dazzling beat after another, you know, and there are definitely some highlights. I think the vocal sampling on Mud is really beautiful. I think the twinkly sounds on the opener are fucking dope. The track with Slow Thigh is stellar. Fucking fantastic song. I need to get into Slow Thigh. I've been meaning to hear his stuff, but yeah, his delivery is so great. He's so fucking animated and fucking wild, and his 3 verses all consistently get more fucking exciting. I think the final verse's flow is just dizzy, and that just kind of like weird like that synth right there is so perfect. Christ. That with JPEG Mafia is also pretty dope. This beat is a little bit more kind of traditional hip-hop-ish, I suppose, but still has that kind of, you know, future bassy Flume touch. I really dig how dynamic the beat is too. There are quite a few curveballs in this instrumental, like the fucking laser sound effects and that weird little like switch up where the drum pattern changes at this part in the song. And JPEG Mafia's performance is pretty good, although I will say it is slightly tamer than what I'm used to with JPEG Mafia. It doesn't really sound quite as, you know, fucking rebellious and audacious as he normally does. But it's still a very entertaining performance all the same. Some tracks on this thing do strike me as totally unnecessary though, like Vitality or Upgrade. Upgrade is such an aimless track, you know. I guess I do kind of like that like lead melody, the like yeah. But the beat that then comes in to complement that, I find a little bit awkward, and just the kind of synth pads that join it at the end feel just a bit hollow and just like, I don't know, it just seems to be a bit of an empty song to me. The same goes for the song Voices, with Sophie. The drums on this song have that, like, you know, fucking trademark, like, mechanical, like, metallic Sophie kind of quirk to them, which I think is pretty sweet. But again, ultimately the track doesn't really go anywhere. I like the way Kuka's voice is sort of like manipulated in with the beat and shit. That's kind of nice. But yeah, the way this track just kind of like ends out with those like kind of twinkly melodies and shit, it's pretty, but it just feels pointless. The final track with Eprom, who I've heard his music before. I've listened to Eprom in the past, and his songs are really like one of those producers to where like every little noise sounds like it's like right in your ear, and it's like really fucking like tingly and shit. And yeah, I guess the final track does, you know, follow suit. But I actually find this final track to be a little bit annoying, honestly. I think the just kind of like crisp thudding drums just pinging off all at once, the kind of scrapey noises are all a bit just frustrating to hear. And every single track is sort of just going for this like one kind of like idea, this one just maximalist, just like here in your face, just here's a really wild, dizzying future bass bang and beat for like a minute 30 seconds before moving on to the next one. And it's just a series of very immediate thrills that don't really actually have too much in the way of genuine substance or replay value for me. I do think the ideas on display here are cool. I do love the fact that Flume is going in this direction, but there are just one too many songs that just leave me scratching my head. Like Jewel is another one. Like Jewel starts off pretty great, but then it enters this very awkward crescendo with these odd sound effects that just don't make any sense to be on this track in my opinion. And then you got Dreamtime, which is absolute filler. I guess the atmosphere of the song is okay, but if you're gonna make a song that's gonna like simulate, I guess, Dreamtime, or just be like kind of like a more low-key, kind of quiet, more ambient-ish song, if you're gonna do it, at least fucking put your all into it. Like, this song just seemed very lazy to me. I don't know. I guess the textures are pretty good, but like, I don't know, the song just again just went nowhere. A lot of these songs just kind of strike me as just kind of bridges to nothing. And the Sophie remix as well just fucking sucks. It's basically the same song, but with like a really obnoxious, like squawky, screechy fucking drop that just had no semblance or composure at all. So yeah, I'm gonna go 6 out of 10 on this one. Again, love the fact that Flume's doing this, but the execution here was a bit sloppy in my opinion. Thank you for watching this review. I'll see you on the next one. Bye!